hoodies, Arrowites, whatever it is we're calling ourselves today. Welcome to the Arrow After Show, where all we do is talk all things Arrow. My name's John Campia. I'm going to be your host this evening, talking about this mid-season finale of Arrow. I believe, what was it called? The Climb is the name of the episode. So excited to get to it. But first of all, I want to introduce the people joining me. Of course, the lovely ladies of the Arrow After Show. Starting over here.
Hey everybody, it's Ann Campia, ready to hood up and say what the fuck to this episode.
And over on this side.
Hey everyone, Court K, what up?
Yeah, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Okay, so let me first of all start by saying this. I was having a little email exchange with Stephen Amell a couple days ago about something not related. But then he writes to me, and he's never written to me to say, you're going to love this week's episode. He's never done that. He's never just come out and said, you're going to love this week's episode. But he did this time, and I was like, okay, that's weird. He's never kind of said that, all right. And holy shit, what an episode. I personally think best episode we've had yet so far this season. I loved this episode. Definitely the biggest WTF moment ever. Actually, there was a couple of really good WTF moments that the last WTF moment kind of makes you forget about, but really the episode is kind of filled with them. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to run down tonight's episode. We're going to talk about things we liked about the episode tonight. We're going to talk about the things that we thought maybe they could have done better and give our overall impressions. And we're going to take some time to take your comments and questions. So if you're watching us live right now, right down here, over here I should mean, right here is the hashtag. You can tweet to us with this hashtag, Arrow After Show. So tweet that on in, and at the second half of the show, we're just going to take your questions and comments. So, without any further ado, Corey, let's start with you this week.
All right.
What are some of the things you liked about this episode of Arrow?
The ending was, sad but great. A great cliffhanger to the end of the mid-season finale. I mean, they couldn't have made a more shock-valued one. Ray Palmer, his background, why he's doing what he does, and his relationship with Felicity, and the kind of explanation on why he hesitated with the kiss, and then the reveal of Adam, where he physically and verbally says it, which was awesome. I'm digging. I'm really seeing this growth between Roy and Oliver, which I really like a lot. Malcolm Merlyn, of course, I always love seeing him, and all the fight sequences, all the fight scenes, even with the two ladies in the past, and then obviously the last scene. So a lot of good stuff going on in this episode.
Yeah, I agree with all of it. Obviously, there's the big cliffhanger, but I'm sure we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the ending of the episode. I love the scenes between Felicity and Ray in this one, talking about I'm giving him the backstory. Although there was a part of me that went, when he's telling the story, it's like, yet again, I said to Ann, wait a minute, Ray Palmer, who apparently is super world famous, mega rich millionaire, blah, blah, his fiance dies in the streets in a street riot, and that wasn't on the news.
Yeah, I know.
So Felicity never heard about that. That was kind of weird, but whatever. It's a really cool backstory. But when he's telling me that story, it's like, that night I realized I wasn't strong enough to save her, so I decided to do this. And I thought, buy a multi-billion-dollar company, develop some sci-fi suit, go buy a Glock, go buy a gun. How about that? No, but seriously, I did like the scenes. I liked them very much, and I like that we're seeing Adam starting to come to shape, come to life. I didn't realize how much I loved the scene between Barrowman and Amell until I realized this. That was a good scene, right?
Yeah.
But then after the episode's over, you realize, wait a minute. Merlyn tells Oliver, because I want you to go and challenge him so you can kill Ra's al Ghul. He knows Oliver can't take Ra's al Ghul. He knows full well that Oliver doesn't stand a chance against Ra's al Ghul. There's no way. So now that adds a new level of dramatic tension to that scene. When you look back on it, you realize, so what is Merlyn's game? And if he was just sending Oliver there to get killed, well, why would he do that? Because Oliver is actually the one kind of protecting him in the city right now. And all. So it leaves me really wondering what the heck's going on. He clearly, I don't think he wants Oliver killed, but I don't think he knew Oliver couldn't kill Ra's al Ghul. So there's that as well. Oh gosh, the fight in the flashback in the apartment, the girls with the swords,
So
that
good.
was great. The revelation that I keep forgetting what Oliver's in Hong Kong, his handler's name is.
Maseo, right?
Maseo.
Maseo, that he is now in the League of Assassins, or he had been before. I'm not really even sure about that. But there was just a lot of really good, hard moments that could have been highlights for a lot of other episodes. But in this one, they kind of get overshadowed by the big thing at the end, which I'm sure we'll talk about more a little bit later. But Anne, what about you? What are some of the things that really stood out to you about tonight's
I
episode
have
of
to
Arrow?
scroll my notes because seriously, there's like a laundry list here, but you both said most of them. I think it's the best written episode of Arrow ever. I think this is the best written
Wow.
episode. I applaud the writers. It really felt like a cinematic, like a movie to me. Having watched it and seeing how they shot the scenes, it just felt like there's been a lot of growth outside of just the actors, but in the production value and the way that it looked. So kudos to the Arrow writers. I mean, they had the balls to kill off the main character of Arrow, which was really cool and has still a lot of people in shock. And I know you said we'll talk about it.
Wait, but I should throw this in here though now. Once that happened, I know a bunch of you guys follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. I put up a joke. I put up, oh my God, and I put up a fake news headline saying the CW confirms Arrow being renamed Canary after mid-season break, and I got a lot of people really mad at that, but I was just kidding. If you're one of the people who read that, I was just kidding. That was just a joke. So anyway,
Well,
go ahead,
look,
Anne.
unless seasons 1 and 2 have been a prelude to this Arrow show becoming Canary,
It's
like
just
you
a big
said,
setup show for Canary.
that's messed up, people. No,
Yeah.
that's not true, but Oliver's not dead. We'll talk about that. Malcolm Merlin is a crazy son of a bitch. I know we were talking about that on the way here.
Yeah.
What the heck is the motivation for him selfishly putting Thea in that position to kill Sara? And then, like you said, sending Oliver in to fight Roz when Malcolm is smart. He knows that Oliver was not going to kill him.
It makes me
Yeah.
think there's a whole lot more going on to this whole thing. Like, I'm not even 100% sold on the whole Thea killing Sara thing yet. I just think Merlin has got so many layers to him. I'm not 100% sure I know what's going on.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see where
Yeah.
they're going with that. I want to hear your guys' theories on what you think Malcolm's motivation is, and if if Thea ever finds out that she's been manipulated, what's going to happen there? Because right now she's still trying to repair her relationship with Merlin, while at the same time, trying to be loyal to Oliver, even though she's been lying to him too. So it's really awkward. Those scenes to me in this episode were amazing because we all know what's going on with all three of them, that they all kind of know something about each other. And obviously in this episode, Oliver finding out that Thea has been training.
Okay, I half expected. I love that scene, by the way, when he smashed through the windows as Arrow, and all of a sudden she starts fighting him. I half expected him to pull the mask off and go, "What the fuck?
I know.
Like, when did you learn to do this?" I wanted him to do that. I was I just thought that was set up really great.
And even in that scene, I didn't think Thea looked like crisp in her fighting. She looked like she knew finally what she was doing, but she didn't look like she's been training for a long time. And it came across on camera. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I liked that she wasn't as strong as we had thought she might come out to be after having only trained for like 5 months with her dad. One thing that I really liked was that Oliver, I told you while we were watching it, Oliver seemed really off to me tonight. Like something was weird about his character. He just seemed kind of okay carrying on with the decisions he was making. And then I finally realized what it was for me is that you see in Steven's acting, he was able to portray Oliver, the switch in Oliver's head going off, that one, his motivation for what he's doing is Thea, and two, that he was willing to die for her. And I think that Steven's acting really portrayed that tonight, and I could see it, and I just kind of felt it in the character and the way that he carried on with the scenes tonight.
You know what Steven is adding to his repertoire? We've talked a lot about how as Arrow has gone on over 3 seasons now, we're into the 3rd season, that we've seen Steven grow more and more and more as an actor. What I think we are starting to see with Steven in the past couple of weeks, and I think what you just pointed out is right on the nose, we're seeing, pardon the pun, he's adding the weapon of subtlety to his acting quiver. That's a new tool in his belt, that he's able to now draw on subtlety really well. And I was seeing that exact same thing you're pointing out. And so I'm so excited you just mentioned that something felt off about him, and that's exactly what we should have felt. And I'm very excited to see not just how Steven continues to progress in Arrow, but I'm really excited to see where he goes as an actor, even outside of Arrow and things like that, because we're starting to see him develop all that kind of stuff.
Sword battles, you guys mentioned it. All the choreography tonight was great. I thought with an Arrow mid-season finale, we would see a lot of arrows being shot, but it was all swords, and the battles were amazing. I wanted to see more of Tatsu and Tina Wei fighting in the flashbacks. That was really cool. And then speaking of the flashbacks, we haven't really talked about them this season because they haven't, in my opinion, been relevant. They've just been kind of like a slow burn, us seeing Oliver progress into, you know, a stronger character and seeing his evolution. But then now seeing Maseo in present time kind of brings everything together, and seeing him having joined the league as well, and then wondering what Tina Wei is up to with that potion that she has in the flashbacks. So there's a lot of kind of open-ended things that they left us with in the flashbacks too. And then you mentioned the Atom suit. Oh, and before I forget, Oliver saying I love you to Felicity for all those Felicity fans. I'm sure the hearts were going.
To use Star Wars terminology, I could feel a huge disturbance in the Force. The moment he said that, I could hear the Felicity fans across the nation losing their minds, being so very, very happy.
So that was cool.
But you know, in saying that to her, you almost get the feeling that he knew he was marching off to die. Like, because if he really felt confident, I'm going to kick this guy, Rajal, whatever his name, I'm going to go kick his ass. If he really felt that, I don't think he'd be saying something like that to Felicity at that moment.
Again, it was that switch kind of going off. I am okay. If this battle doesn't go my way, I am okay with that. And so it almost felt like a confidence in the way he said, I love you. You might not see me again, you know?
Well, let's talk a little bit about things that we didn't think work in this. And I'll get the obvious out of the way. I'll start with this one.
Okay.
Can Laurel be more stupid? We're watching this thing, right? I'm sorry. Now, forget the fact that I am constantly criticizing the character of Laurel. I'm sorry. They keep giving us stuff to criticize. But forget that for a second, okay? I have this secret that her sister's dead. I must keep this secret. This is a secret that cannot come out. And then walking through the graveyard, bumps into Thea. Oh, hi. My sister's dead. And then, you know, then right back to, I have a secret. I have a secret. Then talking to her mother. Tell me what's really going on. My sister's dead. And we had people tweeting us. It's like, oh my God, Laurel is the worst at keeping a secret.
Never tell Laurel a secret.
Never tell Laurel
because
a secret.
Because she's going to tell everybody. Except for her dad, apparently.
Though she is so mentally weak. And it's just intolerable. And then that whole scene with, where she's talking to her mom after she reveals to her mom that Sarah's dead. And she goes, I'm going to find who did it. And it's like, okay, Mom, you don't know. Like, Laurel to you is just this frail little office working girl. But she's like, find who did it and make them suffer. Make them suffer. I expect her to turn green and everything. Make them suffer. It's like, okay, easy now, lady. like, okay. But you know, but other than those two things, I honestly think this is a really, really strong episode. And you know, when we had Steven on the show here with us, he said, yeah, there's going to come like a 2 or 3 week stretch that he's not even on the show. Well, now we know why. But I said this to Ann in the car driving over, like, because as soon as Raj kicks Steven off the mountain, or even before that, when he drives the sword through him, and I said, oh shit. It's the Lazarus Pit. And so we know the Lazarus Pit is coming, which means my one true wish since the end of season 1 is probably coming true. The return of Tommy. I'm telling you, Tommy's coming back. He's going to take a little swim in the Lazarus Pit. He's going to come out. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, Anne, let's go throw it back over to you for now. What were some of the negatives for you about tonight's episode?
Are we on negatives? I was just about to say, let's dip all the dead people in the Lazarus Pit because they're all going to come back.
Oh, I got to say this. Somebody tweeted this to me. I wish I had their name in front of me right now. Somebody tweeted, can we please drop Sara in the Lazarus Pit and just drop Laurel in a regular pit? Okay, anyway.
Okay, negatives. I can't agree with you more on that motivational speech from Dinah. I was just like, I can't even impersonate how the way you did it, but that's exactly what was in my head was like, she's looking at her daughter who, like you said, is a frail
office
person.
worker. As far as she knows, she's just she's an office worker.
Yeah, it was
Make
just,
them suffer.
It was hard. It was really hard for me to believe, and now I'm just gonna picture like a green witch in my head every time. But
little dog too.
what else? Why does everyone know except for Daddy Lance? That's still
Yeah.
pretty messed up. I don't know what's gonna happen when he
still
finds
don't
out.
understand this whole line of thinking that he can't take it, he'll die because of his heart. He is the captain of police or commissioner or whatever. You think maybe he's running into some stressful situations day in, day out, dealing with murderers and killers and everything like that, probably having people pointing guns at him, but don't tell him his daughter's dead.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. I don't understand why they're trying to hide it from him because he's going to have a heart attack. I mean, he's going to have a really
He's in
big
the wrong
one.
line of work.
He's going to have a really big one when he finds out months later that
Yeah.
his daughter's been dead for a while.
And everyone knew except for him.
Yeah, that's jacked up.
Tell him in the hospital, hooked up to the thing that
Yeah.
will, shock his heart if you think he's going to have a heart attack. Tell him and then just be ready for him to have that. But yeah, it's really messed up that he doesn't know. And I'm just looking forward to that episode where he finds out. Shit's about to go down with the Lance family when he does find out, I think.
Oh yeah.
And just like we said earlier, why Malcolm? Why? Why did he actually think that Oliver could beat Roz?
No way. No way. That's what I think is a brilliant, that's what makes me look back at the scene now and think it's actually a brilliant scene because clearly there is, Malcolm can nearly take Oliver himself. And he lives in fear of Ra's al Ghul. There's no way on earth he thinks Oliver has the slightest chance against Ra's al Ghul. Although when that scene was happening, they're on the mountaintops and they take their shirts off. At first, you think that, I can't remember the actor's name who's playing Ra's al Ghul, but you just think he looks like an average guy, and then you realize like he's not cut and defined like Steven is, but I think from his back to his pecs, he's about this thick.
Yeah.
I said to Anne as we're watching it, I wanted to pause, like, I said, this dude is deceptively huge. When you really just look at how much mass there is to the guy, like
Yeah.
that's a big dude. But that aside, there's no way Merlin thinks that Oliver even has a chance. But I don't think he wants Oliver dead either, so what is his end game?
Can't wait to figure out what that
I'm
is.
really, really curious. You know what? The only thing I can think of, okay, is Malcolm knows Raj will kill Oliver.
Right?
And maybe he knows they'll see him as worthy and take him to the Lazarus Pit. And maybe Malcolm's been holding on to his son's body.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
And is going to use that as a way to get his son's body into the Lazarus Pit. I'm stretching. I'm reaching for straws here.
And it
totally.
still doesn't deter Ra's al Ghul from still wanting to go after Merlin. I mean, that doesn't get him off of his trail either.
I think it has to do with Tommy somehow.
Yeah, it's
I
got to
really
be
do.
Tommy, right?
I would love it.
Oh, well, let's see. What about you? Did you have any negatives for tonight's
I
episode?
do
'Cause
have-
that's all I've got.
I do have some negatives other than Laurel Lance and her whole entire storyline this particular episode. I wasn't feeling like, all right, really Thea killed because she ate a plant that causes her to be manipulated and she doesn't remember any of this. It just felt like a cop-out for me in a way. Like, oh, we waited for so long for something really thrilling and it was a plant.
And I still don't buy that. Look, I'm sorry, I have bought into the idea that Merlin loves his daughter. I
Yeah.
don't buy this now. All of a sudden, out of left field, I was just manipulating her to kill Sara for me. I don't buy that.
Right.
I think there's something more going on here.
And that's why I agree with you where I'm not positive that it was really Thea that killed Canary. Because, I mean, come on. They have to have something better than that. And also, I know you guys said you enjoyed the quick fight scene between Thea and Oliver, but I didn't.
Oh, really?
I did not. I thought, okay, come on. She just defends herself real quickly and then just jumps out of the balcony. Where the fuck is she going right now? I just didn't like it at all.
She's Batman.
It was just ridiculous.
Can I just say her hammer pants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Her glitter hammer pants, and she was like, I was
touch
like,
this,
whoa.
bye.
Like every 5 minutes after that scene, every time there was a lull or a break or they went to a commercial break, just all of a sudden the room would be quiet and Anne would just go, can't touch this. Like for the next 5 minutes. Oh, and we forgot, there was a deleted scene that they talked about on IGN. There was a deleted scene from tonight's episode where Laurel was getting on a bus and the bus driver told her she put in too much money and she said, my sister's dead! Apparently that's all it takes to get Laurel to spill the big secret. But anyway, okay, look, can we just talk about the mountaintop scene
Sure.
for a second?
Let's
That
do it.
was so great. First of all, this whole notion of, I love the mythology they set up, that there's like consecrated ground for the League of Assassins. This is where we go for challenges. But first you got to survive the climb to even have this challenge. I thought that was pretty badass. Got it there. How cool is Ra's al Ghul? I didn't mean for that to rhyme, by the way. I didn't mean that.
He wasn't that cool until the fight started.
Oh my goodness.
And then
But
things
once the
changed.
fight starts, first of all, they say select weapons. Steven takes out 2 swords and Ghul says, attack me, boy. I just love that he calls him boy. Attack me again. He goes, but you're not armed. He goes, I'll take your swords when I need them. It's like, oh, this guy's a
Okay.
badass.
It's like a
and
video
then,
game.
Anne was pointing this out, for the first few seconds of the fight, Raz was fighting with his hands behind his back and just like toying with them. And then the real fight starts and they get into it and he just bitches Oliver. Like just turns Oliver into his bitch. Just boom, 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 smacks him around at will. Then Oliver actually gets in a shot or two and Ra's al Ghul goes, oh, okay, you got in a shot, enough of this. Slice, stab through
Yeah,
the
but
chest.
at the same time,
kick him
Oliver
off the
gained
mountain.
some respect from him too, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah. A little bit of respect, kicks him off the mountain. And then even before he kicks him off the mountain, just reciting that
was
ancient
great.
prayer or whatever, which
Yeah.
is like really cool. I love Ra's al Ghul. I love this character. I'm so excited to see where they go with him
You
now.
know, the scene that Oliver, I'm kind of going backwards, but I wanted to mention this, that the scene Oliver had with Maseo when they were talking and he was saying, like, he gave him a gift before the fight scene, it actually developed more interest in me to actually know more about their backstory and what was going on between Oliver and him.
Right.
And especially at the mountaintop, you can kind of sense that Maseo was kind of rooting for Oliver as well. So.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Maseo was
Yeah.
telling Laurel about that, and then Laurel told him that her sister was dead.
Wow.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Can't touch
okay.
this.
Can't touch this. All right, well, listen, guys, I said we would take time to take some of your live questions. So if you're watching us live, hopefully you're doing it already. Tweet to us with the hashtag ArrowAfterShow. I'm sure a bunch of people have already been tweeting it. Anne's like, yeah.
yeah.
So, Anne, what are people saying in on the Twitter stream?
All right. M. Galley666 asked, do you think Laurel will kill Thea? Did Val make the... Oh, because she had vowed to make the killer pay.
Right. Not just pay, suffer! I think that's, look, out of all the stupidity those scenes were, I said this to you, remember we were watching the show, I said, the one redeeming thing they could have come out of those ridiculous scenes is that they've set up that, well, clearly there's going to be a conflict now between Laurel and Thea, and, well, I mean, right now Thea would kill her instantly, and then hopefully that will lead to a further conflict between Laurel and Oliver. So there are it sets up some interesting narrative possibilities later.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely. At this point in time, obviously we know who will win that fight. But yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree with what you just said.
All right, what else we got?
All right, so this is more of a comment. Simeon Leach says, I think Arrow is going to push time forward considerably to explain Laurel's training.
I
What
like
do you
that
guys think?
idea because it's the only way that can help in explaining what's going to be happening. So.
Hashtag explanating.
Can't touch this.
It would have to be years. It would have to be years. And
yeah.
years.
I don't
And
think
it
it has
can't
to
be
be
her
years.
working out at a local boxing gym either. Like the one theory that somebody floated to me that I've actually said before and I believe is like, look, and I don't want to go off on a Laurel tangent here, but she's got to disappear for years with the League of Assassins. I think she's got to go off with the League of Assassins and disappear for a while, and then it becomes quasi-believable that she might be able to take somebody.
So if she disappears for years, does Officer Lance for years not know his other daughter's dead?
Well,
Yeah, because the secret leaves with her.
Yeah. And then she's in the Tibetan mountains, runs into a little Tibetan boy. My sister's dead, and then he runs off. So, and I'm milking this way too
Yeah,
much.
I
I
know.
gotta stop. I'm gonna say it like 4 more times before the end of the show.
But then, you guys will have 42 days until you have to hear him say it again.
Exactly. You
Or
got a
he'll forget
huge
about it by
break
then.
coming pretty
42
soon.
days, my gosh.
Can you believe it?
All right, what else we got in there?
JM Evans 2009 asks, how long do you think it will be until we see the Atom? And there's another part to the question. How do you think Thea will react finding out she killed Sara?
Well, number one, I'm still not totally convinced she is the one who killed Sara, but let's operate on that assumption. She'll be devastated. She'll be absolutely devastated. Absolutely. How long? Look, one of the brilliant things that the writers of the show have done is they don't feel the need to give us as viewers instant gratification. They will drop a hint or a line and then let it marinate for a year or season and a half and then pick up on the thread a little bit while later. And so we could get, honestly, I won't be surprised if we get Adam the very first episode after we come back from the mid-season break. I won't be surprised if we don't see anything about Adam until season 4. That's just the way the writers have set it up, and I love it because it keeps us guessing. But what do you think?
I think since Oliver's going to be gone for a while, and he revealed the suit in this episode, as well as asking Felicity for guidance, and she was like, oh man, I'm going to have to go through this again. I have a feeling that it's going to come real soon. That's what I think. And I also, I'm not sure if Thea did it, but let's say she did. She's gonna have some major consequences with her father once she finds out that that's what happened. Major
If it's
consequences.
true.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's true.
If it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
These scenes have already, like I said, been awkward. So if and when she did it and when she finds out, I don't even know what's going to happen. As far as seeing Adam, I actually agree with you. I think it will be sooner rather than later. They revealed the suit, so I don't see why not. And then with the passage of time that we're supposed to maybe have, coming back from the mid-season break, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Felicity growing closer to Ray Palmer in that period of time and actually helping him evolve with the suit and all the plans he has.
Do you think they're gonna know that Oliver's dead, or do you think they're just gonna think he's been gone for a while?
Well, look, I don't know how they don't assume he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, we know he went off to a mountaintop to fight Ra's al
Right.
Ghul, and he didn't come back. And from what we can tell, Ra's al Ghul's still out there. So 1 and 1. I think they're going to have to be under the assumption that Oliver's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to Maggie Shannon because she's been tweeting us all night, and I've been laughing at most of her tweets because they're hilarious. Like she said, I would never tell Laurel a secret. She told 2 people about Sarah's death in the same episode.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really
Yeah.
funny, but her questions have been great too. So Maggie Shannon asked, how much do you think Felicity will be involved in Ray's transition to Adam?
I think it's going to be a lot. I think they're also going to develop more than just a platonic friendship. Obviously, that's already starting. And if and when Oliver comes back, it's going to create a pretty big love triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just got this tweet from Laurel Lance. It says, my sister is dead. So I did warn you. I'm going to pull that out of the thing 4 times. Sorry. I'm so beating this to death, aren't I?
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
I agree. I think they are. With the passage of time, we're going to see Ray and Felicity get closer, and the fact that he shared his motivation for what he's doing, the loss of a loved one, and then Felicity's going to think that Oliver is dead. They're probably going to find some sort of connection.
Oh, yeah.
In that respect as well, and obviously Felicity respects Ray.
A sympathy
his
fuck. Yes.
Sympathy. They connect on an intellect level, so I think all of that is in place for them to grow closer. And I'm sorry, Felicity fans, but I think it's going to happen.
But that could just set up great drama for later when Oliver comes back.
Right.
And also, like, Ray Palmer and Oliver are quite different, where Ray Palmer is a lot more open about his feelings and what his intentions are in a way, where Oliver's a lot more reserved. So for Felicity, that's going to pull her both ways.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, let's take time for one more.
I was going to ask another one for Maggie, but
Hey, let's do 2 more. Ask one more from Maggie.
okay. She also asked, will Diggle don the suit in Oliver's absence, and will Roy step up, or will they split the difference while Oliver is gone?
I think. Well, I believe in season 1, I think Diggle did wear the Arrow outfit as a decoy.
As a decoy, yeah.
Before, I think it was when the police were suspecting Oliver was the Hood. And so Diggle did that. I would not be surprised at all to see Diggle in the Arrow outfit and not wearing a mask at all. Because he's Diggle and he's that damn cool. He doesn't need to wear a mask. But yeah, I think, what do you guys think? Like, will he wear the mask? Will he wear the Arrow outfit?
I don't think he will. I think it's just going to be, Arrow is going to be laid to rest for the time being. Like, no one's going to be replacing him at the time.
Yeah, I don't know
just
that he
don't-
will either.
yeah.
It would feel odd to me to think like your friend, confidant, and everything is dead, and then you put on his suit. I don't know. I guess it would be an honorable thing in some respect, but I can't see Diggle doing that.
But I do see Roy trying to develop his skills. possibly.
Yeah, and I could see both of them actually still carrying on
Yeah.
what they
Well,
the
again, we've
mission
seen
of saving the
pictures
city.
of Roy still in the red outfit.
Yes.
When he's with Laurel in that ridiculous "I need 75 sets of zippers on my pants" outfit.
Canary costume.
That canary costume. I'm telling you, yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's the Laurel apocalypse. It is the Laurel apocalypse, the end of days for Arrow, because Laurel's going to destroy it all. Anyway, okay, one more thing.
Well, I'll ask you guys because this is the mid-season. So, what are your main predictions for the next half of the season?
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to reappear. I think Tommy's coming back. Obviously, Slade Wilson is returning. I think while Oliver's gone, a lot of the other characters are going to amp up their game and then become stronger for it. So there's a really big positive in Oliver's death. So yeah, we're going to see a lot more, growth in every other character. I
think we're going to see three key things. I think number one, Oliver is going to come back changed. I think there's going to be I like to hope they're going to even go a little bit darker with him. I like that. I know in the crossover episodes, he was struggling to keep the humanity. I would almost like to see him go a little darker. That would be an interesting thing, at least for the rest of the season, and then have him come back around again a little bit later. I think the second key thing that's going to happen is Laura will tell 47 other people that her sister is dead. And that the third key thing that we're going to see happen is the real establishment of the League of Assassins. I think that they have been kind of dangling the League of Assassins in front of us, culminating in this episode, and now I think they're going to be, for the balance of season 3, I think, and I have nothing to base this on, pure speculation on my part, okay? I could be dead wrong about this, but I feel like they are now going to be established as the primary threat that's going to hang over the rest of the season, much like they did in season 2, where Slade was kind of dangled in front of everybody the first half of the season, and he is clearly the established threat for the second half of the season. I think we may get that with the League of Assassins going into the second part of season 3.
I like that you said that, because that would have been my question to you guys is, who's the big bad? I mean, is it Merlin? Is it Roz? Is it someone else? I still don't know, but you could be right with the League. That could definitely be it. But I really hope we do see some sort of, what are the ramifications of going into the Lazarus Pit and coming back to life? Are there side effects to it? Is he coming back different? Is he going to be the same Oliver? Those are the questions I have in my mind, and I can't wait to chat with you guys. We have 42 days to talk about what that could be, what the second half is going to be like.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So guys, listen, keep tweeting to us, because we're going to be reading them all throughout the break. Tweet to us with the hashtag ArrowAfterShow. Let us know your predictions. What do you predict is going to be some of the big things coming in the second half of season 3? How do you think they're going to bring Oliver back? Do you think they're going to use the Lazarus Pit device? I think it was kind of obvious as soon as Ghul said, nobody's challenged me in 67 years. Lazarus Pit. So I think they made it pretty cool that that's there. So let us know your thoughts and your feelings in that. So for all of us here, first of all, Anne, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Ann Campia, as well as Kaori and I at Team Amazing. And keep tweeting your theories and predictions to us.
And of course, over here, Kaori Take. Kaori, where can people find you?
Yeah, definitely find us at Team Amazing, and you can find me on Instagram as well as Twitter, KAORIOUS, Kaorius.
And you can find me in all the various social media networks just at John Campia, telling everybody that Laurel's sister is dead. And I'm going to just keep plowing that one. Okay, so guys, thanks for joining us for this episode of Arrow. Make sure you follow the show. Make sure you tell everybody else about the show. Make sure you keep enjoying the show. And we will see you guys after the mid-season break is done. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.
Hey, I'm Tommy Bechtel.
And I'm Chris Gore, and we are the hosts of Geek 360, premiering December 11th at 9 p.m. on theStream.tv.
It's December 11th, so I dressed extra Christmassy.
You're wearing a tank top and a bathing suit.
I don't know what Christmas is.
Weird.
Watch Geek 360, Thursday, December 11th at 9 p.m., only on theStream.tv.
You really don't know what Christmas is.
Well, now I'm embarrassed. It's that thing with the pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.